on this one right here, this is what they're talking about when they say drain daily. But it's not on your test when you're taking the third-party test for the state of Mississippi. Okay? So you'll come back here, your steps, pretty much it's free of debris. And you checking your catwalk, it's pretty much free of debris. I'm checking it before I get up there. But since I have this in my hand, I'm gonna put that there and I always use a 3-point contact. Okay, for safety first, get up here, okay? All right, now as I get up here, I'm looking at the back of my tractor. Okay, in the back of my tractor, I wanna make sure that there's nothing of harm. Looking at my reflectors and making sure that they are intact, okay? Also, I'm checking my exhaust and making sure it is intact and making sure that it is free of soot, okay? Now I have my utility lights. Got my utility lights right here. Pretty much want to make sure that they're clean, clear, and that they're working properly. Okay? And at the back of my tractor, I got my air and electric, my air lines and my electric connector. Making sure that it is intact, as well as over here with my trailer. I want to check my air and electrical line. I got my service line, my emergency line, and then my electrical line. Okay, I'm checking all of those and making sure that they are intact. Okay? As I look underneath, I see my drive shaft. I'm checking that drive shaft and making sure I don't see any damage or harm, and it's properly greased and it's not bent or anything. Okay? I'm gonna go ahead and come back out. I'm gonna put this down. Coming on out. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and name back here, which is called a torsion bar. You have that bar right there. You also have one at the rear. So you have an upper torsion bar and you have a lower torsion bar. And want to make sure it's intact. Okay? Back here also, you also have your brake chamber, which you can see it right there, brake chamber. Okay? You got your brake chamber, you got your brake hoses and lines, and we know with every brake chamber you have a slack adjuster and we have that push rod. Okay? We're checking all of the above, making sure that it is intact. Okay? Right here you have a frame, your frame, no illegal welds. Okay? There goes my spring mount, checking my spring mount and making sure that it is intact, no missing bolts. With that, you also have a leaf springs, checking your leaf springs and making sure that it's not cracked or broken. And as you continue to go to the back, you can see the U-bolts back here, making sure that the U-bolts are there. And I also see my airbags. I see my airbags, making sure that it's not torn or ripped and it's properly inflated. And I also see my shock absorber, making sure that my shock absorber is not leaking. Behind that wheel again, remember you got a brake drum. Make sure that that brake drum is not cracked or broken, and you got your brake liners and pads that goes on the inside, making sure that it's free of grease and oil. Okay? Now you're checking your tires. Okay? Checking your tires. The dual tires, ABC against, abrasions, budges, and cuts. Now with these, they are recaps, but I still don't want no mix-max tires on my vehicle. Okay? And what you're doing, you got a 3-finger spacer and making sure that it's in between your dual tires. You just pretty much primarily making sure it's free of debris. Okay? Coming on out, I got my rim, no illegal welds, and it is intact with my tire. I have 10 lug nuts, rust being an indication of looseness. I got a valve stem with a metal cap on it. Okay? And I have, it's a difference. You have a hub oil seal up front, but back here you have a hub seal. Okay? An axle seal. That's right. You have an axle seal. It's still a hub seal, but it's an axle seal versus a hub oil seal. Okay? You got your axle seal. It is intact and it's not leaking. Okay? Now, what applies to this side applies to the other side. What applies to this axle applies to this axle.
Gotcha.
Okay? So you're only naming 3 axles. You're naming your steers, your drives, and then your tandems.
Okay.
Okay? Now right here, you got your splash guard. Your splash guard, it is intact. Okay? Also to the other side. Now I'm gonna walk on down. Tell you what, let me go ahead and start at the top. Okay? Looking at the top here, this is called your header board in the front of your trailer. Your header board, got at the top, amber in color, you're checking your clearance lights. Okay? That they're working properly. And your header board, make sure that there's no missing rivets. Okay? Now I'm coming on down. I got the side of my trailer. I'm looking at the top to bottom, the full entire length, and checking my frame and making sure that there's no damage or harm done. Also my DOT reflectors, okay, the full length, okay. So we continue to go right here, and I'm gonna stop right here because now what we're gonna do is the fifth wheel, okay. Now we're looking at the fifth wheel. Now underneath here is called an apron. This is an apron, and what's attached to this apron on the opposite side, on the inside of it, is called a kingpin. And on the inside of this fifth wheel plate, you have a little lever that when you back up against it, that lever is called a locking jaw that's going to go around the shank of that kingpin. Okay? Now, like we say, an apron, you don't want no daylight to be between this apron and this fifth wheel plate. Okay? That is a fifth wheel plate. That's a release arm. Right here is a safety latch. Okay, that's a safety latch in the pin right there. Okay, now the entirety of this thing that it sits on is called a platform. That's your platform, and these right here are called your mounting bolts, along with your locking pin. Okay, all right. So that's everything that's pertaining to your fifth wheel, and you'll continue to come on down. I'm still looking top to bottom, but right here I also have my splash guards again, and anything that's on there, you just want to make sure that it's intact and it's secure. Okay, I got my DOT reflectors as well. Okay, I'm getting underneath here because what I'm doing is good to name it, but it's better to get a visual. Okay, so I'm underneath and I see that the locking jaw is around the shank of my kingpin. Okay, all right, checking back here, I do have my reflectors, checking them and making sure that they are intact, they're not loose. I do have my lights back here in place. Okay, I have my brake light, I have my left turn signal, right turn signal, and my four-way flashes. Okay, and also we do have a reverse light. Checking that reverse light and making sure that it's working properly. Okay, and don't forget your tag light. You got to make sure that tag light is working properly.